Good morning. It's nearly 7 a.m, 28th of April 2026, and I'm just leaving Dwellingup after a lovely stay. It's a beautiful little town, great facilities, great for hikers or cyclists. Great little pub, the food was excellent, coffee was excellent. But yeah, back on the trail, heading towards my next trail town, which is Collie. Just cool morning. It's looking like it'll be a nice day. Catch you later. Yeah, nah. Before and after. Morning of day 9. It's a very late start today, 8 o'clock, because I've got a short day. I'm going from Murray Hut to Dukinelli. Had a pretty good night at Murray Hut last night with a couple of chaps. Young Gordy, who's doing a end-to-end. He's heading north, so he's only got about another week or so. And Chris, who's doing a section hike. Yeah, bit of a grey old morning, and I'll show you the hut quickly. Another classic bib hut. Gravel floor, timber bed. There you have it. Catch you later. So I've been intrigued by this banksia with this beautiful leaf, and so I was asking Finn and Sunny the other day, the botanists from Kings Park in Perth, what species it was, and apparently it's Banksia grandis, common name bull banksia. So I've been pretty much seeing that the whole way from Cali. It's just after 4 on Wednesday, the 29th of April, 2026. This is day 9 of my Bibbulmun Track walk. And I've got to admit, the last 2 days, oh boy, I'm really struggling. And it's not because it's a hard walk. It's because it's just walk through the same bush. And yesterday afternoon, and then for most of today, it's sort of through 2 to 3 metre scrub. So you're just in a green tunnel for hour after hour on a 1 metre wide track. So it's just really boring, and there's not many people out here. So you don't sort of get the camaraderie that you get on other trails, or if you go hiking with a mate or a few mates. So I'm reading a book up in the south. I'm listening to a book. My itinerary, which I'd drawn up at home, had me here today. Short day. It's only about 18k day, so I was in at midday after leaving Murray at 8 o'clock this morning, and then tomorrow I've got a short day again. It's about 21k, I think, into Possum Spring. The alternative is like a 41k day into the next hut after that. Just bored. Sounds terrible. I'm in this sort of Jarrah forest, but I've sort of been in the Jarrah forest now for 9 days, on and off, and I'm kind of getting a bit over it. So I'm struggling with the boredom at the moment. That's the only, touch wood, the only struggle I've got. Like, my body feels really great. Just to do with what to do with all the hours you're sitting around in camps. Usually, by yourself. Boy. Anyway, as I say, embrace the suck. I'll check in again another time. Bye. Morning, welcome to How to Keep Your Hut Clean and Tidy. I've already swept the tent platform and sleeping platform. Now we're raking the gravel. Nothing quite like fresh raked gravel. Stirs a good feeling in the soul. Beautiful, lovely fresh raked gravel. There you have it. Good morning. Good morning, day 10. Just leaving Dwellingup hut. It was a very, very calm, quiet night. Woken up to a very misty, foggy morning. Just no rain forecast for the next few days. It's just a little bit of morning fog, so it should clear and get some sunshine. Oh, yeah, it's nice to be leaving. Off to Possum Springs hut today, so again another sort of easy-ish day, like 21 or 22 k's. So we'll see what the day holds. I'll show you around. lots of grass trees of great antiquity. Crikey. Bouncy bridge. Good morning. We're just leaving Possum Springs. It's the 1st of May. We have now less than a month to get this thing done. It's another milestone day today. For the reason that today we go past 300 k's in the bib. Woot woot! So, always good to celebrate what you're achieving, not get too obsessed with what's yet to come or what you've done, or that sort of stuff. It is a privilege to be out here, so especially on a day like today. Looks like it's going to be a cracker. I've got about a 33k day going to Harris Dam Hut. So we're doing a double hut day today. Yeah. See what the day holds a little bit later. There he is, Grunter on the bib, the big fella. Okay, catch you later. I should quickly add the that big conveyor belt that I crossed over yesterday. That's in between Possum Springs, where I spent last night, and Dukinelli, where I spent the night before. So if you're going south, you do Dukinelli, Possum Springs, and obviously the other way around if you're going north. I could hear it at Dukinelli. I thought it was my hearing had a problem. But yeah, I could hear it at Dukinelli because it was so quiet over there, and I could hear it here as well. Even when there's a bit of wind through the leaves are, you know, they're at a different frequency, and you can just hear this low humming thrum coming from that conveyor belt. Anyway, something to look forward to for this part of the bib when you come and do it yourself, guys. Yeah, how cool. Okay. Oh, the other thing, today I think I've got about a 6 or 7k stretch. It's a straight line. Reminds me of that part of the Camino on the other side. I think it's Castillo. The Roman road, where you do about 15 or 16 k's in a straight, almost dead flat line. Yep. BAF, as we call it in the DABC. Boring as fudge. Okay, check you later. Some big eagles hunting out there over the plain. Just arrived at Yaldamung. I left at 6:30 this morning, 6:30ish, and it's just after 11. So I'm gonna have a breather, get some more water. Looks like a really, really nice hut. Anyway, got to keep moving. Okay, might be hard to see, but that little blue dot means that just short of Harris Dam Hut, I've done 300 kilometres on day 11. There we go. Let's go back to... Oh! No! As I walked towards Harris Dam Hut, I grew increasingly anxious. At Chedora Hut, several people had told stories of pig hunters driving up to huts around Collie at all hours, drunk with massive dogs and toting high-powered rifles. Not pleasant. A couple I'd met before Possum Springs told me that they'd spent a weekend night at Harris Dam Hut. The locals had turned up in four-wheel drives with plenty of booze and boomboxes to blast music till all hours. We know how young Aussies party, they'd told me with raised eyebrows. I take it that they didn't get much sleep that night. I'd spent so many nights at huts alone that the thought of being alone at Harris Dam on a Friday night was freaking me out. I say all this as a background to how I react when I get to the hut and find it empty. It's Friday afternoon, the 1st of May 2026. It's just on 3. I've just reached Harris Dam Hut, so I'm about 22 kilometres from Collie. And in my mind all day I've just been ruminating about getting into Collie just to be around people and to have phone service so I can talk to the people I love. Oh, this is really hard. Spent the last few nights alone. There's nobody here. And given the time, it's probably unlikely someone's going to come in. And it's just been kind of trudging through, I don't know, trudging through the bush. And I'm sort of just looking at everything purely as an achievement. It's like it's a, every day is just a mini ultra trail. Just got to get these kilometres done, just got to get these kilometres done. Because there's just not much to see. You're walking through different ecosystems and stuff, but it's just bush. And I was talking to a Dutch couple yesterday who were just over the whole thing. And then a young lady today who I ran into on the track. And they're like, oh, it just gets worse. You're just going to spend hundreds of kilometres staring at tree trunks. And I'm just asking myself, is that the best way to spend the next month of my life? To do what? So that I finish it? I know I can finish it. I've done 300 odd Ks. My body's fine. I don't have any injuries. My feet are great. It's pretty easy to smash out 30 or 40 Ks in a day. I don't think there's any doubt I can finish this thing physically. It's just mentally, and I'm just, in the last few days, just starting to ask why are you doing this? I don't really have any answers. Don't have any, just to say you've done it. I mean, it's nothing, who cares? So strategy is stay here the night, walk into Collie tomorrow and make a decision. You know, the ramifications would be I just change my flights. Don't know. This is really hard. I think if it felt like it was more mentally stimulating, I'd probably be hanging in there. But I'm just really, all I'm just ruminating on all day, every day is just logistics. Got to get to here, got to get to there by that date. Can I do Collie to Dwellingup in 2 days? Well, of course you can do it. It's big days and you're going to be tired and a bit sore, but what's the point, you know? Just sort of racing through it just for the sake of, you know, I'd rather be walking than sitting around a hut, because sitting around a hut's just as boring as. Anyway, that's where life stands, so see what tomorrow brings. See ya. So thinking about it a bit more, it's the why. I think once you lose the why, you sort of, all motivation goes out of it. And the why at the start was very much around an opportunity to, you know, really grieve mum and dad. And I don't know, to get away by myself. It's been nearly 2 weeks by myself, with just sort of small interactions with other people. And I don't know, I just don't know whether another 4 weeks is going to get me anywhere other than a little bit crazy, especially if it's just night after night alone. Anyway, I'll have a nice fire tonight while I mull all this over. Good morning. It's 6:45 on the 2nd of May 2026. Just leaving Harrisdam Hut after tales to tell. So I lit the fire. I was feeling forlorn, thinking I was going to have a third night in a row alone in a hut. And I was just standing at the side of the hut looking up the trail, and 2 people start coming down the trail. Anyway, turns out those people were 2 wonderful emergency nurses from Falcon, which I understand is like the seaside part of Mandurah. Joe and Jack. And they wandered into camp and proceeded to tell me that I was south of Collie. I thought they were taking the piss. Anyway, after a quick explanation and showing them on the map, they'd realised that they'd completely cocked up and that they'd left Collie thinking they were heading south and they'd actually headed north. Oh dear, oh god, it's funny, but Schadenfreude. I felt sorry for them because they'd driven down in 2 separate cars and they'd done a car drop. 1 car in Collie, 1 car in Donnelly River village. and I'm going to spend a few days walking between Collie and Donnelly River. So after numerous expletives, they've sort of hatched out a plan to get them back on the trail and back on their schedule, because they've got to be back home because they've got to get back to work as emergency nurses. But two lovely ladies, oh wow, really cool people. So my sort of dread of spending another night alone, it was quickly dissipated and replaced by sitting around and chatting and having a few laughs and telling stories of life. Anyway, so today I've got about a 22k walk into Collie. It's a town day. I'm staying in a motel. I've got to get some more supplies, but not much, because tomorrow I'm doing the Collie Bailing Up Challenge.
Collie the Bailing Up Challenge.
I get from Collie to Bailing Up in 2 days, one overnight, which is only, well, not only doable, but it's more doable because at the moment there's 6 kilometres of track that's been removed due to backburning. So I was talking to a lady yesterday who told me the diversion is in place. So, and she said it's all on management trial, so you can really chuff along. So save 6 kilometres on the trip. Anyway, feeling much better today. Yesterday was such a down day. Oh boy. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Bye. Yeah, nice. Interesting language. Collie town site. I think they just say Collie. Collie town. Oh, very odd. Anyway. Okay, so it's the evening of the, what is it? The evening of the 2nd of May, and I'm in Collie. I'm staying at a hotel, and I think in the next 2 days I'm going to do what I'm calling the Collie Bailing Up Challenge, which is getting from Collie to Bailing Up in 2 days rather than 4. There's 3 huts in between Collie and Bailing Up. Yabberup, Noggerup, and another one whose name escapes me. Anyway, I'm going to try to get to Noggerup tomorrow. The reason I'm having a crack at it is the day after there's a backburning deviation in place which saves 6Ks. So that's, a good hour and a half of walking or thereabouts. So anyway, we'll see how we go on the morrow.
Collie to Bailing Up Challenge.